Hi there, Chris Quarto here, licensed psychologist. Thanks for checking out this short video on something that you'll probably find really useful as an autistic person. I call it the anchor framework, which is something you can, anchor yourself to when you're in situations that make you feel uncertain or unsteady or stressed out. Now, there are 4 steps that comprise the anchor framework: notice, regulate, clarify, and act. So, notice and naming is essentially asking yourself, what's going on inside of me right now? It could be something like, I notice that I'm feeling uptight, or I have a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach, or I notice that I'm thinking a lot about that stupid thing I said to Jenna yesterday. Now, regulate is where you ask, what can help me feel more safe or steady, balanced, just better internally? This is where you can use calming strategies. Deep breathing is one that you always hear about. And you know why? Because it works if you do it the right way. But other people find that things like stimming or the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique or lots of other things can be just as useful. Now, with Clarify, you answer the question, what do I need and what matters here? And what this boils down to is zeroing in on the bullseye of 2 things: fulfilling your needs and making a commitment to living according to your core values. In other words, things that are most important to you. So an autistic person might clarify that they need to feel that others notice them and pay attention to what they have to say, because they were ignored a lot by people when they were growing up, and maybe now still they're being ignored. One of their core values is developing deep connections with people instead of those surface level ones. Now, of course, they can't make another person notice them or pay attention to them, but there are some communication techniques that can be useful along these lines to help make this happen, which can take place at the last step of the framework, which is act. And this has to do with putting things into gear, especially doing things that need to be done to fulfill your needs and living in alignment with your values. So the autistic person might say to someone they're talking to, I really need you to hear what I'm saying here. I'll try to make this as short as I can. So the anchor framework, it's a really nice thing for you to refer back to when things are getting stressful and you just need to reorient yourself or get yourself back to the basics of living. In other words, just to anchor down to be able to live the way that you want to live. So in other words, as long as I can do these 4 things, then I know I'll be okay. I hope you found this useful, and go out and give the framework a try to see how it works for you.